I am one of the library fellows at the University of Massachusetts Medical School. So we do it's like a 2 to 3 year fellowship program where we're recent graduates. I graduated in May from the University of Kentucky, started at UMass in May. I like to think of it as like a library residency. So we've got all the theoretical knowledge, we've been through our grad school, now we're getting to put it into use and learn and grow from there. For me, coming up to UMass was like a natural extension of going into librarianship, which I didn't really get into from a normal way. I'm a first generation college student to begin with, so I'm definitely out of the ballpark getting a master's degree. I got my undergrad in philosophy at the University of Kentucky. It took me 5 years because I didn't know what I was doing. And during all that time, I served as a resident advisor, and I really was loving that, working with the new students, teaching them about the university, the things I wish I had known. But then I graduated and get thrown out into the world, and I found myself, a degree in philosophy is not a big catch right out of undergrad. So I was managing at a local Greasy Spoon, did that for a couple years, got some management skills, and then I got bored. And so I had some friends that were also philosophy majors, and one of them was then working at the University of Kentucky's medical school library. And he's like, hey, you should come check this out, librarianship. There's philosophy involved in it. So I went and took a look, met with a few people, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump in. I'm not doing anything anyway, and I like libraries. I'm a kind of a bibliophile, if you want to call it that. And so I applied, got into grad school. I'd never worked in a library before in my life. So for the next 2 years, while I'm a full-time grad student, I graduated with more hours than I had to have, trying to gain all the experience I could. I was a reference intern. I worked as an adjunct professor for 1 semester. I worked in archives and some cataloging just to get all of it. And then graduation comes up, and I'm like, you know what? I've done all this great stuff as a student, but I think there's still more I need to know before I'm actually in a library, potentially by myself in a hospital setting. So I sought out, fellowships. I knew about the National Library Medicine Fellowship, their Associate Fellows Program, and then a former UK student was actually one of those fellows, and he had heard about UMass's fellowship program from a presentation that our former director, Elaine, had been giving. And he sent the information on to me. I reached out, applied, we did the whole interview process, and then I got here. And it's been pretty great. So from the minute I got to the interview, I felt welcomed and at home. And that's a big deal for a first-gen student who's not used to professional life at all. And my interests are kind of unique. I came in, and my presentation, my area of focus is on graphic medicine. So the use of comics in healthcare settings, both educational, clinical, and whatnot. And so my interview presentation was on this, and I thought I was taking a big risk because it's a new field. It's not necessarily known. Some people still look at comic books like those are for kids. What are you talking about? This is an institution of higher learning. But everyone seemed really on board. It was exciting, it was new, and that's the kind of culture that UMass Medical School has, especially in the library. We like new ideas, we like new innovations. So I'm getting an opportunity to not only learn the basics of librarianship, medical librarianship in particular, but I'm getting to explore my own field. I'm working on a new systematic review myself, and I'm working on, building awareness of this opportunity to use comics and visual literacy and all of these things while getting the basic background that I need.